Feature Friday.
The freshest.
Right. So we were totally blown away by Mica Becerro's first audition in The Voice. You guys let us know that she actually went ahead with and chose Lea,
without a doubt.
which is in my
choice.
book the smartest choice, given the fact that in musical theater you're trained classically before you learn anything else. Obviously not to the realm where you become like a operatic soprano, or an operatic singer, but the bases and like building the foundations are there.
Good starting point, because
It's
even
a
though
fantastic
Mika
point.
is ahead of the starting point, she has had no starting point,
Yeah.
academically speaking. So
it's
Good point.
I mean, she could have chosen Sharon as well, because Sharon's also really well versed in the classicalesque way of singing too, given how her whole career.
that's a good choice.
But yeah, again, it doesn't surprise me. I would have.
That's what we
Lea
discussed
too.
in the video, right? It was either Lea or Sharon who we would think would be the most appropriate choices, because there is no more about this show. It's actually, you have someone who essentially doesn't even need to compete.
That's right.
You know?
I mean, for Mika, the whole journey, in my perspective, of The Voice is it's a building ground. It's whatever happened, how long she was in the show, it was gonna add to her value as a singer, rather than be like a competition. Like for her, she was already at an advantage.
And also, sometimes this principle applies to most people as well in the industry, but sometimes all you need is, in her case, I would think this is just
the right exposure.
It's of course exposure matters, but versatility, showcase versatility, and timing. Just right timing in the industry, and then show versatility when you have that type of talent. So, which is a very niche-esque talent.
All right.
But let's have a look at this.
This is her performance. This is the battle round.
Right. First time I think we checked out
with
battle
Christy.
round,
Yeah, this is versus Christy, and they're singing Ave Maria.
I think Christy's with Sharon.
Right. They're also so young as well. You forget that.
I've been alone when I'm surrounded by friends. How could the silence be so loud?
That's pretty mad.
Wow, that's Christy, and holy guacamole! That is absolutely.
Crisp.
That is what the hell? How are these kids so professional? Like professional sounding, right? Like you don't get teenagers often that are so mature in the freaking sound. Like they are so aligned already there, like in the realm of singing.
It's crisp.
Of course, as the Philippines know, you have been exposed to singing your whole life. Point of view, growing up in the Philippines, right?
Yeah, that seems to be.
You just need a little edge above everybody else to sound like this. But you've already had the practice rounds in your community, in your daily life.
So to me, the Philippines, when it comes to singing, it's like wonderland. I still, and we've had.
It's
their
scientifically an enigma.
Doesn't make much sense.
No.
And I've heard the explanations from everybody. Everyone.
And yet still makes no sense.
Higher ups, people who just maybe like to sing.
People who build the industry themselves.
I've heard it. I don't think they even themselves realize
how special it is. Yeah.
It's a wonderland. That shit doesn't happen. As a fucking country, dude.
Yeah, I agree. God.
Special place.
This is magnificent.
Just to go home, knowing that I've got you.
Motivation.
When the lights go down.
There's also, man, it's just like there's choices being made. Obviously, we know now there's good choices being made because there's coaching involved. But the execution, it's fantastic. Go on.
You are heaven on earth. You are hunger, my thirst.
Also, the usage of certain the diction, how is emulated and really emphasized in both of the singers. We're about to see Mika do her part, but the the emphasis on diction is so big, and that is something that only comes from advised
Coaching,
coaching, and obviously you said that she is with
I think
Sharon.
she's with Sharon, yeah.
Okay, could be, all right. So yeah, there is
From what people have told me in the comments, I could be wrong though.
so there is already a given, there's a really big emphasis on the usage of diction, and amplifies the sound so well.
Obviously showcases what they strive to do in the future.
And then I hear this voice inside.
God, that's wonderful.
Awesome. Fuck me. So so the battle rounds, just a little question here. When I thought what was going to happen was she was going to sing, Christy was going to sing, and then she was going to step back, and then sort of Mika was going to come in. But
I don't know how the battle rounds work. Like, I have
is it just
no
a
idea.
collaborative effort, and then whoever does best sort of wins?
People vote as this is happening.
Well, it's a bit unfair though, isn't it? Because, like, for example, I would imagine a lot of people would find Mika's bit more impressive.
Yeah, but then
It's the Ave Maria bit. It's just the structure of the song, and she was given that part.
I would have. Okay, I'm gonna see Mika's side of things, but I think a lot of people would vote for Christy because she's carrying the freaking song.
But stylistically, well, actually, yeah,
She's
I guess
carrying
you're right.
the song.
Yeah, I don't know.
Basically, she is leading the way. And I think what's impressive about this shows that people, like the audience votes for, is the pedigree of understanding music and singing responsibility that comes in the Philippines. Like, the audience is actually really well versed
in singing,
so they understand things that common people might not, and people that have never sung before might not.
Let's say it like this. I think, again, from what little I know now regarding the Philippines,
It stops being about the entertainment and it's more about the talent itself.
there's still an entertainment value.
I'm talking about how people vote.
Still would agree. There's still entertainment value, but
Okay.
I think it seems the people that sort of consume the show there in the Philippines, if you were to compare them to an audience from any other part of the world, they would be a little bit more knowledgeable in terms of singing and music than other parts of the world. That would be my bet.
I agree.
They
They also have more an acute ear for things
they would
as
make
well.
more educated choices
Yes.
based on their experiences.
That's right. And what they have been exposed to their whole life. Yeah.
That would be my bet.
Oh my god. Oh!
But you see what I mean? It's like, that's mental. Go on.
Oh, it's so beautiful. How old was she? 14?
Look at Larry. It's like,
She's like,
fuck, you're really that good, dude.
but you're that good. And she also already heard this, by the way.
Cool.
Leia's already heard this because she obviously coached. And still had that, reaction. That's pretty big. Also, moment. Was she 14?
I don't
What?
know how old she was.
15?
I think I said it in the previous video.
That is just madness.
But I completely guessed.
The maturity of that modulation and the voice, the understanding of the space, that operatic setting, that classical singing. Oh my, wow. And I think I read on the
This
comments.
was the first season
Yes.
of Teens.
And I read on the comments that she had never actually been taught. She just learned.
Yeah, she hadn't had coach. That's what I mean. She was above the starting point. However, she hadn't had any formal training before.
My God! That
Yeah.
is absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand that.
She was 17.
17.
17.
Okay, 17. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. Still none, but makes more sense,
And then
I suppose.
Christy is Then I can find her. Anyway,
Right.
it's fine. But imagine about the same, right?
Yeah, most likely.
I
Goodness.
But it's such a stylistically, it's just juxtaposition. Like that is virtually what you would call a juxtaposition. That is insane.
Yeah.
Do you want to press play?
Yes.
Or would
go
you like
for
to
it.
share
No,
your
no,
thoughts?
Go. I'm marinating my thinking.
Sometimes love can come pass you by while you're busy making plans. Suddenly hits you and then you realize
course.
out of your
Interesting. Very good. This is what I'm interested in, right? This again, versatility and timing in the market, right? So let's pull that back, and then please do share your thoughts.
Suddenly hits you and then you realize out of your hands. Baby, you've got to understand that you are my everything.
Those gorgeousness.
You are my last, my first.
So it is still a collaborative effort.
Yes, I think perhaps they're both coached under Lea.
So it's Christy
And we're
versus Mika. It's a versus.
Yeah, but you know that you have to eliminate somebody. You have to eliminate people. So maybe it's by coaches. I don't know. They make them sing
I have
all
no
over
idea.
each other. I don't really know how it works.
Please let us know, because this is the first time we're now going to the battles.
That's actually the first time I've ever seen a battle of in The Voice ever
True.
in my life.
Yeah, true.
I always hear this voice inside.
Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
So now it's sort of becoming a bit more competitive, right? Because I thought it was going to be like that. Like, I'm going to out-sing your ass, dude. I thought it was going to be like that. Now it's becoming a bit more like this. I thought, but at the beginning, it felt way more competitive. You can sense it here. But I thought at the beginning it was more collaborative, which, kind of nice, I guess.
Yeah, but this is why I actually think Christy has. They put her out in the spot here. You just don't spring a classical song up on somebody who's naturally so soulful.
That's what I said at the beginning. Isn't this a bit unfair? A bit fucked, isn't it?
Well, she would have taken my vote. Christy would have taken my vote.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. Just for the fact that you have never been exposed to this type of singing before, and then
we don't know her first audition either, right?
Well,
I would imagine it wasn't
definitely
this.
not classical. I can tell you for a fact, you don't sound that soulful naturally, and go with your first audition with a classical piece. Obviously, knowing that the disadvantages here, like you can hear the unsettle technique in Christy, and that's why she would have taken my vote, because that was strong, very freaking strong, and it's hard. It is hard to sing a classical piece like that. And given this environment as well. Also, obviously, but if you're talking about, like, we said it at the beginning, right before we even watched any of the video.
Is it?
Yeah, there's no competition with Mika. She really was above everybody else.
This is the problem, I sense as well, with perhaps why.
That's hard, man.
Perhaps why The Voice lost, to me, kind of this. Maybe something that I never really got into. But I didn't even know there were battle rounds. I had no clue how it worked.
Me neither.
But it's a bit bizarre with music. The idea of a competition. It's very odd. The premise of that, it's fucking insane. Because it's art. It's not sport.
Mm-hmm.
It's the reason why there's a difference between both.
Yeah.
They're not athletes. They're singers.
That's right.
They create. And they express. They materialize thoughts.
Yeah.
How the fuck can you give that a score?
That's
Come on, it's not 1-0. It's not 1-love. It's not.
Yeah.
She doesn't want a set. You know what I mean? Because there's no winning or losing. But
That's right.
if you then look at it, if you want to be more ruthless, there is competition in the industry. Yes, but it isn't as linear as in sport. And competition is an idea inherently utilized in sport.
That's right.
That's why I think these contests sometimes lost me at that moment where it's like, but hold on a second, there's gonna be a loser here.
Yeah.
But
They're both winners. They're both
and look,
winning. Yeah.
I'm a competitor myself. Since I was a kid, that's what I've done. Sport and music. So I feel like I truly understand both of them. And I don't have a fucking problem with there being a loser. Good, I actually have an issue now that there's no losers. So give a kid a medal for participating. No. Unfortunately, life doesn't function like that.
Yeah.
Sorry. But that's a conversation for another day. But in art, it's a bit different. And it's something I've had to learn.
It's perspective. It's a perspective-based thing, isn't it? Artistically speaking, if it always comes down to personal choice.
And that's something I've had to learn through ballet, because there was this moment where we took different paths. I went a purely sporting route, and you went purely an artistic route.
That's right.
Theatre. As arty as it gets. Artsy as it gets.
As weird as it's gonna get.
Yeah, and I went full time with a sport.
Yeah.
And our mentalities changed completely. And I had to understand for a second, it's like the same principles you apply to sport. Some of them may be valuable and utilized in art, but not all of them. And one of them is that, the idea of winning and losing.
Yeah.
It's not that straightforward in art. It's a very murky world.
Well, I think that's why these shows are so popular, because it's a completely brand new.
Well, they also straighten out the line, isn't it? It's not confusing anymore. It's a winner and a loser.
That's right. And it's like whatever you like, yeah, you can still consume it, but you might not be the winner.
More easily marketable as well. I'm
Absolutely.
not knocking on the show. Look, man, what this fucking show has
It's
been able to do.
successful.
And it's also it's very well done. It's incredible.
And what I like about The Voice, though, compared to all the other singing contests that are out there right now in the industry, is that it has a reputation for being based on being focused on the vocal expertise and not about the paraphernalia that comes with it.
The fireworks.
Yeah, not so much about who's the clown that's gonna come stand here and entertain, but is about the vocal focus and talent and the growth. You want to be part of a journey. It kind of reminds me a lot of the Spain singing competition called Operación Triunfo, which is the pedigree of singers that come out of the show, because you're seeing really well-rooted singers make a journey into stardom, and that to me is way more attractive. But then again, I'm also a singer, so I suppose I'm a bit biased.
Yeah, that's the other concern as well when we sort of talk about this, because I think these shows have done more good than harm. Have they done their harm in certain moments? Perhaps, yes. I don't know. I've heard some horror stories. I haven't heard others. I've heard great stories. But I think they, roughly speaking, they have done more good than bad. Absolutely, without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt. And I think one of the shows that definitely leans more towards the idea of refining the craft, it's definitely Voices.
Yeah.
Shows like The Voice, Operación Triunfo in Spain. There's certain shows like rap shows, like Show Me the Money in Korea, where you're about specifically something. It's refining a skill.
And it's refinery. You're really getting great quality products
From the start.
Yeah, and that's that shows a different pedigree of music. Freaking fantastic. It is so difficult to sing, on a classical setting when you're used to singing at a completely different, in a contemporary setting. My God.
The helicopter.
Feelings coming down. But yeah, from a battle perspective and a voting perspective, Christy would have won my vote in this round, because I already knew what Mika could do. So that sprang to me as a surprise, you know, seeing Christy adapt to this classical singing setting, which, by the way, she delivered beautifully. You know.
I think that you're correct. I think they were both on the layer or something like that. I'm not too sure.
Well,
But
given
this,
given the focus on Leia amongst all the other judges, yeah, I think.
yeah, it was layer. I think also the interesting bit as well is that I think they can steal them.
Oh God, okay.
So or something like that. That's what I'm reading in the comments. Just sort of reading some comments there.
Ah.
So I'm not sure if maybe you choose one and then that means the other one's out, and then you have like a steal card. You can steal someone from another team that didn't.
Right,
make-
so you can like your saving card.
Well, that's a fucking steal if you manage to get Christy.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it maybe if you make her do something completely different, she's like a winner basically. Because it's interesting again, and maybe that's why people are saying they're giving a lot of credit to Leia in the comments because of what I said at the beginning. This seems more like a collaborative effort, less of a competitive effort.
Absolutely, and the communication between the both, it was very supportive.
Yeah, they don't hate each other.
Yeah, no, it was a really safe environment for both.
Yeah, so I like that. If that's what sort of these battle things are like, that's awesome. That's brilliant. I'd love to see maybe others. Let us know what you thought. I would love to know. So maybe what was sort of like the end product here? Who won? Where is Mika now? Where is Christy now? Maybe we should check out Christy's first edition.
Absolutely.
That would be very cool. Because this is all just a stepping point, regardless of whether they won, how far they got. The interesting bit now is how do you develop? Where how do you utilize this trampoline?
Yeah, of course.
And where are you now? And let's enjoy some of your work. So let us know what you thought about it, and goodbye.